All right, what up, YouTube? It's Little Derek Comics back with another video, and today we are going to be looking at the Season 3.5 roadmap for Marvel Rivals. So, first off, we got Blade on August the 8th, which should be today at the time of me uploading this video, or maybe a little bit later. Everybody and their mom's going to be trying to play this character tonight, or today. So good luck getting them. This is probably going to be one of the hardest insta locks you have to do. I would advise you go to the practice range and test them out, but hey, do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm excited for him. And then we also got his new Polarity Edge costume. So, like I said in another video, I'm more of a fan of his base costume, but I think this one looks sick as well. And I know most people do prefer this one. And then we're going to get this new event, Queen's Codex. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Thing's Venom skin is going to be free for this one. I don't know what all this entails, but I'm going to assume this is like the other events where you use certain characters or, you take so much damage, the little missions, and then you unlock the skin. So that's all pretty good stuff to get on the first day of the season. And then a week later, we're going to have some new costumes. We'll have Cloak and Dagger Polarity Bond, and it looks like Dagger has a Phoenix skin and Cloak has a symbiote skin, it looks like. So that's really cool. I hope that is the case because that'll really fit the season. I want to say that's probably going to be exclusive to the season. I don't think that's happened in any of the comics because this kind of Phoenix Venom themed season is pretty unique, I want to say. And speaking of which, we have Winter Soldier with a Polarity Soldier. So I think all the polarity fits are going to be a mix of the Phoenix and Venom skins. I haven't been reading up on the lore to know if they're kind of combining those things, but I would imagine since that's kind of how the season has been going, it's very Venom and Phoenix centric. So, and then a week after that, we have the new game mode, Resource Rumble, and the new map, Clintar Throne of Null. So, I'm probably going to be most excited about this. This is probably going to be the biggest game changer in Marvel Rivals since season 0, most likely. Because most of the other modes we've had, like Clone Rumble or the Bobblehead mode or anything like that, Ultron's Battle Matrix, these were temporary. This is the first new mode that we're getting, and it's going to be competitive. Now, I think when it first drops on the 22nd, it's not going to be competitive. They'll just run it in casual matches, but it's still cool that we get that. Even if it wasn't a new comp mode, even this was a temporary new mode, this would still be cool. We haven't had a new mode since I think that giant size brain blast from last season. So this is pretty cool that this is one to stay. And then the Clintar Throne of Null, it'll be cool that we have a new stage for that. We always get new stages, but it'll be cool that we have it in another separate mode. And I don't know if this will also be utilized in casual matches and comp matches, like the normal casual and comp matches, or if it's just going to be exclusive to this mode. But regardless, I'm excited. I can't wait to see this, and hopefully the matchmaking for that is going to be good, and we'll talk about that more later. So on that same day, we have the Ancient Powers Awaken event, but it looks like Iron Fist, Venom, and Doctor Strange. So they're all getting some new unique costumes. I'm really excited for the Venom one because it looks like it'll actually be Eddie Brock. You'll actually be able to see Eddie Brock's face, and I think that's amazing. I hope they do that for more Iron Man skins and Penny Parker skins. Regardless, these all look like some pretty sick skins, and I'm really excited to see that kind of polarity Venom skin. These all look great. And then we have another skin. We have the Extreme armor for Iron Man. So Iron Man has another symbiote skin. I think the Superior Iron Man, am I mistaken? Is that a Venom skin or a symbiote skin? Regardless, Iron Man has a symbiote skin, and as I mentioned earlier, he also has kind of the face showing in that. So this is gonna be pretty cool. Not one of my favorite Iron Man skins, but it's cool that Tony gets more costumes. And speaking of cool costumes, we do have two other cool costumes. So Scarlet Witch gets this Phoenix Chaos skin, and I think this looks amazing. Like the kind of glow on the kind of Phoenix chest plate, the kind of colorful hair, the kind of purplish dress. It's cool that she's not actually Scarlet this time. Like the color, it's cool that she gets some variety in her fits. I think this is probably one of the most unique and just coolest fits she's got in her repertoire. But yeah, we're getting that. And then a week after that, September 5th, we get a new Penny Parker costume, the Wasteland Mech. I am so getting this. Oh my gosh, I'm instantly purchasing this. Like, the only other unique costume she's had up until this point are the Venom skin and the Yatsuga Hagi skin, the Peach Momoko. So, two unique skins out of what, four that she's got, and two of them are like color palettes, the blue tarantula and the kind of green skin. They are alright, but they're color swaps. They weren't the coolest. So this I'm excited for. I'm gonna be rocking this all season. It's weird that she gets this season instead of a Phoenix skin or anything like that, but I do like it, especially there's like looks like some little spray paint. Yeah, and then September 12th, we are getting season 4. So this season has gone on by fast, but we're going to talk more about that, and we're going to get into the season 3.0 review. Okay, so with season 3.0, that's when we got Jean Grey. That was our first character. That's the first thing we got first and foremost. And then we also got the new Clintar Domination map. And I am not gonna lie, I was super excited about that just for the fact that I love the domination maps. And I think it didn't get played enough, honestly. I feel like I've hardly seen it. Like when Central Park dropped, I couldn't get enough of seeing Central Park. I'm still tired of seeing Central Park to this day for how much we saw that map the first time. So I feel like we should get some more of this Clintar map, especially since and I don't know if this is just the algorithm hasn't been kind to me, but I've gotten plenty of the Hydra map and of maybe a few Central Parks. I feel like I haven't gotten enough of the Clintar map, and it's a really cool map. Yeah, and then I've seen like a ton of the Ultron. I feel like I've seen so much of the Ultron map, but like hardly any of the Clintar map. So but it's cool that it got introduced. We also got some new team ups. We got the Johnny Storm and Spidey team up this season. We also got the Wolverine and Jean Grey. And then we got Johnny and the Thing. So Johnny has gotten a few good team ups in this season. His Storm one wasn't really utilized too much in the other season. The Fantastic team up, is always a good one to have. But the Johnny Spidey one, I have not seen that one utilized too much because Spider-Man's usually getting banned, and Johnny, he doesn't really get too much out of it anyway. And usually when there's a Spider-Man, you probably have 3 DPS, so you probably don't want to use Johnny in that situation anyway. But the Wolverine Jean Grey one is insane. It had to be nerfed. It made me play Wolverine and Burrow. Oh my gosh, it is such a fun. It's just so cool. I think this is one of the better team ups that has came out of recent seasons. But and then Johnny and the Thing. This one is great because it was a movie reference. So if you haven't seen Fantastic Four First Steps, this comes from that. I haven't seen it yet. I still have to go and watch it, but yeah, it's cool that they're bringing that in. We've already seen that they've gotten some movie skins and things, so it's cool that they're having actual moves, even if they're abilities as references. And let's talk about costumes. So what new costumes did we get? We got the Storm fit, so we got a Venomized Storm, and the whole battle pass is Venom centric. Venom and Phoenix, right? So we also got Rocket and Groot as free skins in the battle pass. I won't talk about every battle pass skin. I'll save that for a general, maybe a 3.5 review, but yeah, Rocket and Groot are free. I'm glad that those are the two that were free this season. We always get two free ones except for season 0, where we got one. But that made it kind of cohesive. Makes sense. It was Groot and Rocket. That's a good pairing to give for free. And the Groot one looks really sick. And then, the new skins that we got outside of that were Magic and BP, the Phoenix skins that we got for them. They aren't free, but they are really cool. We have rank rewards for Jean Grey. So there's going to be an alternate color if you made it high enough in the season. And we also have our Fantastic Four first steps. So all of the Fantastic Four got a movie skin. So I think those were all really cool. Not to mention, we also got the Summer Party skin. So, oh my gosh, the Luna skin. Oh my goodness. And then a Psylocke one too. My good. And Loki has a really good one. I think the Thor one is the only one that was free, if I'm not mistaken. And we also got the Thing. The Thing has it's not quite the thong like everybody wanted, but he's got a summer skin as well. So all good stuff. All good stuff. But, a few other things, we got accessories this season, and I think the accessories are a nice way to change up things. We got a few new color variants. I like that they're keeping that going. I think those customization options are, really welcome. Let's get into some kind of gameplay type stuff. So they took away the daily missions. So you pretty much have weekly missions, and you have the seasonal missions, and they give you a decent bit of chrono tokens. I don't know. It feels like I'm not getting as many chrono tokens because I guess it felt like when I logged on for maybe an hour or so, I'd get something, whereas now I could log on for an hour and I might not really get much of anything. I'm kind of working towards a bigger mission. It just feels like I have to grind a little bit more, maybe. But so far, so good. But also, the season has been going pretty quickly. This first half of the season was pretty much 4 weeks. So, very quick. This went by very quick. And I know this next half is going to be pretty much 5 weeks, but that's still not a lot of time. And I think that's a good thing because, we're getting through the season a little bit quicker. It doesn't take too long in between characters. So, if you're not feeling one, then another one is on the horizon. And I like that the first half is a little bit quicker so that we can kind of get to the next one, and then more of the big events are going to come. They can kind of save it for the second half to keep it fresh. I think that's all good stuff, and I do like how the season is going from that end so far. Now, the season outside of like the costume events and stuff has been a little slow. There's not too many new modes or anything that came to the game. It's just these events where you unlock stuff, which is cool. They're always welcome. I love those. But, something else, like usually when we get a seasonal event, like the Chinese New Year one or the winter one, there were, new kind of fun modes. So, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't have that, but it was still cool to, unlock them. They've been doing more with like the kind of quick bundles, and I guess if that's the route they want to go, that's fine. But the new kind of fun modes were always fun. And I feel like they've kind of lost the plot on that. But, with all that being said, that's most of it covered. So now we have to talk about the big elephant in the room that reoccurs every season, every half season, because they just do not want to fix the matchmaking. Yes, we're talking about the matchmaking. And no, I don't know if there's EOMM. I can't prove that that exists. And so I'm just gonna go off of what I know, regardless of whether it exists or not. The matchmaking sucks. The matchmaking has sucked since the game has came out, but it's only been more apparent and gotten worse as it progressed. And that brings me to something that has garnered a lot of attention. So you can no longer have more than 3 teammates when you're doing comp matches once you get past gold. Once you're in platinum to like grandmaster, I think you can only get 3 teammates, like including yourself. And then I think if you're in grandmaster, you can only get 2. It sucks, dog. It sucks. It's a horrible idea. And I will, before I really get into it, I will say that they have done some penalty things. So, there are harsher penalties for you disconnecting, and they have made it so that, you can kind of appeal accidental disconnects, I believe. And then you also get rewarded for those matches where you have to fight in a 5v6, 4v6 situation where you're down a teammate or two. You get some bonus points just for sticking it out. And I think that's amazing. That's something they should have done in like season 1 or season 0. More realistically, season 1. But that's cool. However, it's like taking a step forward and 2 steps back, because now one of the only ways you could secure a decent victory was to stack with your teammates. And now you can't do that. The only way you could genuinely have solid matches guaranteed and have good team up potential and work as a team, you can no longer do that at the higher ranks. And that's dumb. It feels like you are trying to force this horrible matchmaking. And they never talk about the matchmaking. They will fix and talk about everything else but the matchmaking. And it's annoying at this point. Because now we know you're doing it. And we know you're doing this on purpose, okay? The first few seasons, it was like, okay, maybe they take some time to fix it. Now they just tap dance around it, right? They'll give us some points. Last season, they changed the point system so you lose less points if you did well. However, they added the chrono tokens, and that really messed things up, in my opinion. I will stand by that every time. And I also want to mention, once you get into rank, you have those chrono tokens. So if you make a Smurf account, which I don't want to give anybody any ideas, but you can make a Smurf account, and you will just have those chrono tokens. You can rank up for free dang near off of that. So if you're a good player, you're just gonna breeze through and just smack everybody. And then people that have been playing don't have those any longer, so now they're just screwed against these new Smurf accounts. Please take those out. I know this for a fact because, I tried to help my friends get up in the ranks, and I made an alternate account. And once I got in, we breezed through, we smacked them all. Now, granted, if I was playing on my own, that would have been a lot harder, but I wasn't. You know how many people Smurf like that? Just go in with full teams and they're just smacking around the people in these low ranks. This low rank is probably horrible. Like, my friends had such a hard time getting out of it, and bro, that's the only thing. And you could realistically have clicked off of this video at this point, because at this point it's just a rant about it, but it's so annoying. Like, bro, please just fix it and your game will be flawless. But hopefully with this new competitive mode on the horizon, maybe this will have a different kind of flow to it. Maybe the matchmaking won't be as bad, even if it's the exact same matchmaking. Hopefully, because if not, I feel like it's really only downhill from here, because there's only so many characters that there's some characters that you're gonna get excited for, like Deadpool, like Daredevil, and many other people. If they ever added Miles Morales, whenever they add Miles Morales, he'll be great. People will flock to him, but you're missing great opportunities because you're getting all this hype and then you're not capitalizing on it by fixing some of your major issues or your number one major issue, because everything else is acceptable at least. But I have high hopes for this second half of the season. Even if they don't fix the normal matchmaking, hopefully this new mode can mitigate some of that. So with that being said, let me know how you feel about Season 3 in general. Have you enjoyed Season 3.0? Are you looking forward to 3.5? Have you stopped playing the game? Do you think the game is dead? Do you enjoy the game? Do you have no problems with the matchmaking? Let me know all that in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.